Hey traders, Raghee here, and in this update, let's talk about the daily time frame, why it's part of the routine, and the way that thus far this week, it's really maintained, I think, its job, which is keeping us on the right side of the trade. What does that mean? Well, it depends on the daily of the symbol that you're looking at. So let's take a look at the S&P here. First of all, yes, we had a little bit of a pullback yesterday, but actually we ended up having a quick buy. And if you recall from the update yesterday where I talked about the importance of the calendar, you knew that the quick buy that we had in the indices, we made sure that we were at least at a break even by the end of the morning session at 11:30 Eastern, and definitely going into Bostic at noon. Well, today we had another big event, and that was Jerome Powell, also again at noon. Directional bias for the indices, namely the S&P and the NASDAQ, is still most definitely up. I think kind of a distant second to that is the Dow. Not because it's not above key volume weighted average prices, but because you look at the structure of the lower row of the JT multi, it's still in a sideways market, unlike the NASDAQ and the S&P, which are firmly double green. So we know that the dailies are saying, hey, let's look for long opportunities. We know that the calendar is saying, hey, don't overstay your welcome with major events. Once again, 2 days in a row planned at noon. Now remember, tomorrow we have Powell speaking starting at 9:30. So it's really going to mess with our morning routine. And let me mention something. Even though I'm talking about day trading here, one of the things that's so key to not only what I do in the futures room, but also what I do in my Sector Secrets Mastery is if we wake up to a massive amount of volatility, and I'm going to say this, preferably to the downside, I will switch away from the day trading and I will go shopping in markets that are pulling back. In the premium video, I'll talk more about where those longer term time frames could be, giving us opportunity if in case at 9:30 Powell sends the market lower. Now, what do we know about today? We had some interesting setups. Again, to the long side, we have a breach, a nice little retreat zone, hitting our target up near the clearing range high. And then what do we want to do? Really, we know that Powell starts at noon, but we know that the morning starts going into the European close starting between 11 and 11:30, which means Europe might say no mas and start to want to bail before Powell speaks. And, once we hit our initial target, what do we always do? Move our stop to break even. So by the time we hit the first target, while I would love to see the market grind higher, I know that there's a chance that is not what we're going to see, because one of the ways that we have seen, and we talked about this the last few charts in coffee, pre-market show, if you haven't caught that yet, Simpler Trading's YouTube channel, 9 a.m. And we said, hey, look, the way that the market since the 16th of June has been treating Powell events or FOMC events is sell first, ask questions later. And so we can see that working right in here. So we were gone, that's fine. Let the market do whatever it wants. Just sort of floated around on a breeze, did not make lower lows, started to move higher. And I think that for the most part, we're seeing a market that's just sort of treading water until day 2 is complete. And then we'll get a better idea of what it is we want to do with 15,000 in the NASDAQ overhead. And that's likely going to be dictating what the S&P does, which is, are we going to then take out the resistance at about, as you can see here, the 43.80, 43.85 area? We're going to punch up to higher highs or what? I think that's pretty much in the cards. I am not looking at this market as a bearish market at all. That means retracements are still viable. That means if we get a dip, which I am rooting for, we can absolutely look to get long. So please tomorrow, be a little bit more cautious with your day trades and really start to make sure you've got a list of longer term daily time frames that if we were to get the pullback, we could start looking for those trend following buying opportunities. And one of the places that I'm absolutely looking, aside from the S&P and the NASDAQ, crude oil. OPEC agreed to raise output. That is an opportunity. I'm not buying up in this area. In fact, we were taking profit. Now, what am I looking for? I'm looking to just basically jump in long again in crude. All right. So these are the kind of things that I'll be thinking about tomorrow. And so crude oil is definitely on the watch list. Keep that in mind, futures traders, and I'll see you in the next update. Hey traders, Raghee from Simpler Trading. Thank you so much for watching this video. Be sure to leave a like and a comment below. And remember, subscribe and click the bell icon so you'll get notified of the next update. And when you're ready to join me for live trading, be sure to head on over to simplertrading.com. I'll see you in the next update.